Hello world, this is Genviève and you are on Genviève TV, your channel for forensic and clinical education. And today I bring you a beautiful story following a film I released a few weeks ago on canine hypnosis. One of the wonderful beings I've been working with is a former emergency medicine nurse who spent her career responding to critical life threats in the ER before she eventually changed careers to work one-on-one with horses in a horse sanctuary. Like many of us here on the channel, she's an early life trauma survivor, and so are the horses who are sent to spend the rest of their lives in her sanctuary. Many of them come from horrific life situations, so deeply wounded and traumatized that many have lost every ability they ever had to trust anyone ever again. Some have become unapproachable. And this is the case of the horse she told me about this week, whom they named Spirit because, she explained, he has a lot of spirit. When we connected this week for her hypnotherapy training, she told me that she had been fascinated by my film on canine hypnosis and the possibilities that perspective opened for her to be able to work with animals in a state of trauma or panic using hypnotic depth. She decided to implement it immediately in her work with traumatized horses. Spirit was a horse no one could approach. He would not allow any person to get near him, touch him, or let alone attempt to alter him. When she arrived to the sanctuary this week, she put into practice all of the work that she has done with me in session. Following the approach I describe in my canine hypnosis film, she placed herself in a state of deep hypnotic depth. She and I have been practicing during each of her sessions. She descended into the deep place of quiet tranquility, peace, serenity, physical, mental, and emotional silence that we dive into during sessions. She opened the windows to her mind, so to speak, releasing all the thoughts, sensations, emotions, energies, creating commotion, returning to internal stillness, silence, becoming one with all of creation as native cultures describe it. Because she's been practicing this with me for some time now in session, she said she went into this profound depth of quietness instantly. She described it as instant quietness. I saw the birds, she said, describing one of the techniques that we use in sessions. I pressed my fingers together, which is an anchor we create as a pathway to depth. And that was it. It was beautiful. When I watched your film on canine hypnosis, she explained, I knew immediately this was what I needed to do in my work with animals in states of trauma. So I got out to the paddock and I said, this is it. I went into the deep quietness and the horse immediately moved towards me. I felt an instant connection with him. I asked his permission to work with him, and from that moment forward, it became amazing. This horse, who otherwise struggles to be quiet, became suddenly soft and trusting. It was amazing to see how easy our interactions became. It was a very good experience, both for the horse and for me, she said, to finally be able to connect. I'm not here to control you or to stop you, she said to him with her heart, with her emotions, with her intention. But I ask a relationship where you and I can both be quiet, soft, and respect each other. I will never ask you not to run, kick, or be joyful, or be full of spirit as you are. I only ask you to keep me safe. And I will never try to take your spirit away. He's a young horse, she told me, full of stamina. And she simply offered him her peace, stillness, and silence, and it happened. She told me in a voice filled with wonder. We had an amazing interaction, the most incredible exchange I'd ever had with him. Taking my time, she said, gently and easily, I brought the halter, and he actually put his nose into the halter himself. And that was unheard of. He stayed with her the entire time, and she felt as if they were dancing together. She explained that the farrier came and was finally able to work with him. He stood quietly while the farrier did his work in the middle of the day, which was entirely outside his normal routine. This had to be done, and until then, you simply could not do that with that animal. So that was utterly amazing. She said that he and her went somewhere else with their minds, with their hearts, together at peace. I simply got there myself, she said, into that different, deeper state of consciousness, and the horse responded and followed me into that state. The calm, peaceful quietness I dove into transferred from me to him. And I knew I needed to ground myself, to be very present, very soft. I became quiet, and the rest became a dance between the horse and I, she explained. It was incredible. In other words, this is the exact opposite approach from the antiquated horse training that led some to attempt to break a horse by dominating, by crushing, terrifying, and coercing them into submission, when trainers were taught to be active and aggressive in order to break the horse's spirit, which, when you think about it, is the same coercive control, domination, hard and aggressive manipulation techniques that we see in abusive interpersonal relationships, where abusers are on a relentless quest to break your spirit, using your deepest, most intimate, most painful wounds, the secrets that you shared with them in trusting confidence, in an attempt to force you into a state of panic, of fear, and similarly break your spirit, your joy, your strength, your zest, your energy, solely to exert domineering control over you. Same exact stuff, my friends. So when she was done with spirit, she walked away a few feet, turned around, and saw that his feet had remained planted, solid, stable, unmoving into the earth. He was simply staring at her, mesmerized. Only when she resumed walking away and allowed her own energy to rise back into that conscious, active mode, did he finally snap back into action and bolted energetically and joyfully toward the pasture. Here again, we have an example of professional emergency training skills applied with hypnotic depth to respond to a creature in a state of traumatic fear. Last time we saw it with a dog, this time with a severely traumatized horse who no one had been able to approach until then. When you learn to respond to critical life-threatening situations with authority, focus, calm, and confidence in your training, knowledge, skills, and expertise, you can have an extraordinary impact on subjects in a state of shock, fear, panic, and pain. By definition, they are under the hold of heightened emotions. They already have the intense focus and concentration, which are prerequisites to enable access to the subconscious level of the mind. They are acutely receptive and intensely seeking guidance and relief. The state of fear in itself creates a strong desire for help. Stepping forward in these cases with calm, controlled, stable, and confident leadership skills positions you as the rescuer that the subject in a state of panic was hoping for. All you have to do is calmly escort them to safety. Simple, hey? So here again, this is my disclaimer, everyone. Do not try this at home on bears, cougars, or other wildlife. Always consult with your licensed medical team for all medical conditions, and only take my advice as either educational or for entertainment purposes. Now, if you want to learn how to do this properly, contact me at genvièvhypnosis.com. You will find all the information below the video. When you are on youtube.com/Genvièv TV, I'm a board certified forensic and clinical educator with an NGH, and you might as well take advantage of the current situation to learn to become professionally certified in a career that will help you in everything that you do for the rest of your journey. If you're not included in my newsletter, subscribe at genvièvhypnosis.com. You will find the box in the middle of the page. All you have to do is enter your information. And otherwise, join us on youtube.com/Genvièv TV. Subscribe, share, like, comment, and pass this information along if you wish to those you feel might benefit. So that's it for today, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Daniele, Jeff, Owana, hello. Decades later, so nice to see you. Thank you all for joining me. As always, have a beautiful day. Stay safe, stay strong, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao.